Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with Music'sMyLife.com here at the Crofoot in Pontiac, Michigan with a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yo, what's up? It's T Mills, and I'm chilling. I just got done playing a show, and it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun, man.
T Mills, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure to meet you. I've heard a lot of good things about you.
That's awesome, man.
So, from some cool people, too. So.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Mike, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, your height is often a pretty big misconception. A lot of people don't realize you're actually as tall as you are.
Yep.
Did your height have anything to do with discovering giraffes as your power animal?
I would say it definitely played a part.
Yeah.
I didn't really actually. I don't want to say I came up with it or I discovered it. It's just it was just something that reoccurred,
right.
And people kept saying, I don't know, kept saying it. They'd buy me giraffe stuff, and I just thought it was super. I think giraffes are super cool, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And yeah, they're my power animal. It just kind of came to be that.
Yeah, that's sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of discovering your passion for music, you actually made a pretty bold prediction in the back of your mom's Ford Expedition Eddie Bauer when you were younger.
Yes. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's weird. That's crazy, man. It was the Eddie Bauer edition. So this was 90s. I don't know how old I was, a couple years old.
Yeah.
And me and my cousin were riding in the back seat, but we were doing it all janky, laying down, with our feet on the window.
Right.
And I was there was a song on the radio, and I was yo, I'm gonna be on the radio one day. And she was just, I don't know what she did.
Yeah.
I just played. She's actually the manager of a nightclub now, and I just played her nightclub.
No kidding, that's awesome.
So it's cool to see how it all connected.
Full circle.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's weird that you know that, and I'm gonna stop sitting like this now.
Right. Get back to being
it actually was kind of comfortable, though.
Yeah,
I can see why I did that when I was a little kid.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Well, and you actually did end up, of course, hearing yourself on the radio, I'm sure, many times. But the first was actually on the way to the Roxy, right?
It was, yeah. And I wasn't even driving my own car that day. I was driving Johnny's car, who's my sound he runs the songs on stage and stuff.
Okay.
And that was a really weird experience too, man.
Yeah, I'm sure. Surreal.
I freaked out.
There's a little old
Asian
lady
next to me, and I rolled down my window, and I was yo, I'm on the radio. I was this is me. I freaked out. I called my mom and my sister and my grandma, and I called everyone.
Yeah.
It was tight though. And it was right before I was about to headline the Roxy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
So the energy, that whole day it was incredible, man.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of came together. So that was a great day.
Hell yeah. And I don't know if it was that show in particular, but you mentioned your grandma. I heard there was a time when you were performing at the Roxy, and she somehow made her way up to the front row.
She did.
Interestingly enough, wasn't your first time performing actually at your grandma's wedding?
Yes, yo, you're the first one that's ever put all that together for me like that. I've never thought about it that way. And that was the same show, man.
How was it?
It was incredible. It was amazing, and she brought out my aunts and I have a lot of family from Argentina and Brazil, and they were in they were in LA. They came down to see the show, and I had my little cousins were there, and she literally she was talking to all the fans, she'd be honey, I'm his grandmother. Do you think you could let me go through the crowds and get up front? And people were and it was packed. Girls usually get in fights, get up to the front and stuff. Yeah. And they just let her through, and I walk on stage, and she's right in the front. And I'm yo, this is so weird.
That's crazy.
But that's true. Yeah, I played at her wedding. When I was probably 5 years old.
Yeah.
My grandpa gave me an acoustic guitar, and I wrote a couple songs in my room.
Yeah.
And I played it at her wedding. She has the tape somewhere.
No kidding. That's awesome.
I probably saw it a couple years ago.
Really?
I don't know, 5 years ago or something, but I need to find that.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome. Well, speaking of weddings, you actually have proposed on someone else's behalf before, right?
I have, at a show, yes. Some dude came up to me. We were having a meet and greet. It was on my East Coast tour. It was the first tour I ever did on the East Coast. And he was dude, I need you to do me a huge favor. I'm what? He's couple 20 people down. There's this girl. Her name's, I don't remember her name. And he's will you ask her to marry me? And I'm wait, marry me or marry you?
Right.
He's marry? No, marry me. And I'm Dude, of course, yes.
Yeah.
Like, I love that kind of stuff. You know, if I can get to be involved with that, like, that's just a cool, rad story. So when she did, you know, I was like, I think I might have brought her up to the front, but when she got up there, I was like, yo, you know, he has a question. And he, like, literally got down and did the whole thing, and she said yes, and she said yeah. And that was crazy too.
Hell yeah!
I think I videoed it.
No kidding.
But yo, I would have totally, yo man, I would have forgot about that if you wouldn't have brought that up. So thank you.
Yeah,
for,
good thing I did.
Yes.
You certainly have a way with the ladies. Not to get too personal, but wasn't perhaps the earliest example of that actually in the movie theaters with Jen, I believe?
Oh my god, that's so weird. Yo, how do you know this? How do you know this, bro? Yeah, that was it was right when I moved to Riverside. I met this girl, and we didn't go to the same school.
Right.
She was just like, you know, popular in the Lower Riverside thing. And Friday night, everyone used to go to the movies, all right? Even if you didn't go see a movie, like, you'd go see a movie, and I'm talking, like, this is 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. So, like, before any of us drove or anything. So, you know, be like, yo, I'm going to go to the movies with my friends. And, like, you know, some people would be having their parents drop them off, and you'd go buy a movie ticket. Sometimes you wouldn't even end up seeing the movie. You'd just go there, so you had the movie ticket to show your parents.
Yeah.
And we went and saw a movie. And it was like the first, I guess, time I went to, I don't know. I held her hand.
It's like your first kiss?
We hooked up. I was in like sixth grade.
Yeah.
And then like 2 weeks later, I was eating dinner with my family. We were having dinner, right? And my house phone rings. I don't think I had a cell phone. Right. All you kids now that you have cell phones and stuff in like 6th grade, you're way luckier than me. And I'm not saying I had it too bad, you know what I mean? I had a cell phone in high school, but when I was in 6th grade, I didn't. They called the house phone. They're like, you know, is Travis there? My mom was like, yeah, hold on. And it was Jen's best friend. She's like, Jen doesn't like you anymore and broke up with me. She had her friend do it.
Right.
Her friend broke up with me. And then the girl her friend that actually ended up breaking up with me ended up becoming
her, right?
becoming my like first real girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy, man. Yo, you're connecting so much shit in my life right now, man.
This is your life. And didn't you actually used to like write out Usher lyrics and try to memorize them for the girls when you were younger?
Yeah, my uncle gave me
Uncle Vince, right?
Yeah, my Uncle Vince, man. Shout out to Vinny. He gave me an Usher tape. It was a tape, and I used to like hit play. Me and my friend Jordan from across the street, who actually he used to like play drumsticks on my car bed. We didn't have a drum set, but I had a red Corvette car bed when I was you know, like a baby and stuff.
That's crazy.
And he used to hit the car bed, you know, to be like drums. Him and I and my homie DJ. He's like the Filipino kid from across the street.
Okay.
He was older than us too, but he would, you know, we'd press and play and we'd write them down and we'd learn the songs.
Yeah. And your uncle actually gave you quite a few other first CDs of yours, right? Like
oh
the
yeah,
Biggie
man.
And the Pac.
Exactly. He put me on to like so much music,
Bone
man.
Thugs.
R. Kelly, everything. Like Camp Lo, A Tribe Called Quest, The Roots. Like my uncle was like a hip hop head, R&B head, you know.
Yeah.
So he was like. He was listening to all that stuff like as it was first coming out.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like he was into the whole graffiti culture and like he was into that. So it was just cool, man. Like I remember my uncle just like visions how I saw my uncle when I was a little kid and like now how he looks now, it's like so different, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he used to be like so submerged and he just gave me that, you know, he sparked that love for me.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like he gave that part of music life to me and it made me interested in it.
Definitely.
So.
And I know that your mom was really into Queen, whereas your dad, even to this day, is still a huge fan of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley, man. My dad is a huge Elvis fan.
And didn't you actually grow up watching like a lot of the tour DVDs that they owned?
Yeah. My parents, like, they had I had a Queen tour DVD, or like a greatest hits, something like that. Or no, it was Queen, and it was when they played the AIDS benefit concert.
Okay.
I'll remember that show forever because Freddie Mercury is like a god. And then the Eagles, I watched that like 20 times because every time my parents would have people over, they'd always end up putting the Eagles on. My dad like loved the Eagles.
Right.
And then I watched a bunch of Elvis. I like watched Elvis movies, man. Like my dad. He was obsessed.
Yeah.
You know? He still is, which is super cool. He has like vinyl and
that's
all
awesome.
that, so.
And your first live show though, wasn't it actually Britney Spears?
The first concert I ever went to, yes, was a Britney Spears concert, and my little sister, like my dad got, tickets. I think he might have won the tickets or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we got 4 tickets. It was like a family thing. We went, and somehow I was able to go into the pit. They were letting people in the pit.
Yeah.
And so I took my little sister down there. I was like 13, like 12 or 13, and Britney Spears came out. She played, and then she threw out her cowboy hat, and I caught it. And some old dude punched me in the face and almost broke my nose, and my nose started bleeding everywhere. And it's like this dad, man. This dad manhandled me to get this hat,
right.
for his kid.
Right.
And my nose started bleeding, and so I had to go to the little ER at the venue and stuff, and it was all bad.
It's crazy.
That was my first show, though.
Well, I know that you have a fan named Brittany who makes bracelets for fellow fans, and ships them out all free of charge. You got tons of fans who dedicate tattoos to you, like your boy Edwin out in Canada.
Dude, you got to see this one that this dude Josh got last night.
You show it to the camera as well.
Yeah, check that out.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's the craziest. It's one of the craziest ones I've seen so far.
What's that say on it?
It says "People come and people go, smoke and mirrors." It's lyrics to a song off "Leaving Home," and then it's a photo that actually Ari, my photographer, took.
Yeah.
And that was just a photo we collaborated on. I had that idea. I was like, "Yo, man, I want to put my heads like this. I want to do it like this." And then we made it, and the photo blew up. Everyone loved it. We had it for a long time. And he was actually at the show last night, so he got to see. He's like, "Yo,
Crazy.
I took that picture, man."
Yeah.
So it was cool for the both of us to see.
Yeah. And fans are really good at I guess gassing up their favorite artists. But ironically, however, haven't some of your fans been known to actually deflate your tires?
Yeah. We played a club in Bakersfield, I think it was Bakersfield,
California.
And it was a nightclub, so it's not a traditional set. You go there, you play a song or two. So we did that, and it was a radio event, and then I did a little meet and greet, and these girls are like, "Yo, we want to hang out, we got a hotel down the street and spend the night with us and stuff." And I'm like, I'm with my radio dude who drove us from LA, so it's a couple hours away. It's almost 2 in the morning. We got a 2-hour drive back home. Yo, I got shit to do tomorrow.
Exactly.
I think I got to go to the studio 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So they were really persistent, and then we walk outside to finally leave, and we start the car. We start driving, so brr, brr, and we're like, yo, and we get out all the tires. Well, first of all, we walked out there, and there's lipstick all over the car, and mascara, yo, we love you, whoop-de-whoop. And then, we found out that they had they deflated our
Tried getting you
tires.
stuck,
And so we had to call AAA
so that they could come hang out with you.
Exactly. And then as soon as we noticed that, we saw them walking out from behind the trash cans.
Yeah.
And it's security pulled us back in the club. It was weird.
Yeah.
But shout out to them though.
Yeah.
They, I guess I would never do that.
No.
Though.
Yeah.
I'd never,
it's disrespectful. But.
Yeah, but some people feel that strongly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Love is a crazy thing.
Yeah. Speaking of sticky situations, didn't you almost get fired from Starbucks back in the day because they thought you were stealing bags of caramel?
I did. Yeah. They were hating on me, man. I was working at Starbucks, and someone that worked there didn't really fuck with me. There was 2 people that didn't like me, and they were just they're hating.
Yeah.
Fuck them. They're just miserable people, and this kid tried to say that I was stealing bags of caramel.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, why?
Exactly.
Why would I ever do that? It's bad enough I have to work here.
Yeah,
why the fuck would I need to steal caramel?
Yeah.
So when they just had the meeting with me, I was like, yo, are you fucking kidding me? I almost started laughing at their face. So, fuck them.
Yeah. Well, I heard you're pretty into the caramel apple cider, so maybe that had something to do with it. But I don't know, however, if you would use a straw for something like that. But wasn't there a guy in the mall when you were little who had straws in his ears, and that kind of influenced you to get the gauges?
Yeah, man. People used to cut the straws and put it in their ears, and I was just like, yo, that's so tight. I wanted to, ever since I was a little kid and I saw that, I was like, yo, I want to do that, and I did it.
Yeah, you certainly did it. And
did it.
Haven't stopped. Between that and your tattoos, you definitely have the rock vibe going and stuff. And that's actually where you started out with music, right? Playing guitar in your first band.
Yeah. Well, I played guitar and sang when I was in 7th grade with 3 of my friends for like a talent show, and then we never really did anything. And then I joined a band when I was like 15. I started just singing, and we toured a little bit and we played shows.
Was that Rome or?
Yeah, Rome, Rome. And that was, dude. Like I credit, a lot of like my stage presence and just me knowing how to do certain things to that band, because I was so young and everyone I was in the band with was like 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
And they were in bands previously, so like, we pretty much, dude, we partied. That was when I was like, just out of my mind, and because I wasn't going to school. By the time like we started playing shows and stuff, I wasn't going to school. I was like 16 and I was done with high school, and I was just playing music, and I worked at like a skate shop and Starbucks and
exactly.
And they're just, we're all shitheads, man. They all had DUIs. I was the only one in the band that drove, so that's part of why like we broke up. Is like I had to do everything. I wrote, we like they would write, the music. I would write all the songs.
Yeah.
Studio time. We did all that. We practiced at my house. Like I bought a tour van for us, and I did all of our merch. Like, so I did everything, and that's how I kind of learned, And there's just, man, like, a do-it-yourself mentality is like, it's the shows that I paid money out of I paid $300 just to play a fucking show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we could just play music. So I know what it's like to like, be out there. There's 6 of us sleeping in not even a hotel room, like in, a little 92 Ford family wagon. Yeah. And I even when I started this project, it's like my homies, like we toured in a Suburban, and we would split a Motel 6 room. There'd be 8 of us on a hotel floor.
Right.
I toured, the first tour I ever did was 2009 Warped Tour, and I like, worked a job selling merch so I could get a bus spot. Yeah. And just so I could be on the tour. And then, my homie Paul, like, he was fucking with me, and he's put me on, and I got to play in a tent every day for no money, but like, the only money that I had was the t-shirts. I would hustle every single day. Right. So, and I didn't have no manager, I didn't have no tour manager, I didn't have no one to load my shit. Like, I did everything, I'd stay up till 4 a.m. partying, I'd wake up at 7 a.m. and fucking go set up a tent and go set up my equipment. So, like, I feel like, that just gave me a lot. It gave me the right tools. Totally. Like the right mentality, like, to be able to do a job. Because so many people, I know people that'll, their second tour will be on a bus, and you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like I grinded for my shit, so totally. I appreciate what I'm on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah,
this is
like
awesome,
you couldn't like. I don't get shit twisted. Like, I know what I have right now, and I don't take it for granted, and that's all because my love for music at a young age. And music is all about you have to, if you want it, you have to go do it. No one's gonna do shit for you. Yeah. So I made shit happen for me, and I feel like I credit that to just being young and wanting to do that.
Yeah. And speaking of making shit happen for yourself, for those who don't know, what's the significance of Rat-a-Tat's Loud Pipes?
That was the first song I ever posted. It was an instrumental by Rat-a-Tat. I fuck with Rat-a-Tat so tough. And they have a song called Loud Pipes. And I used to freestyle to their whole album, like with all my homies, and I would just freestyle over Rat-a-Tat beats. And then one day I just put it in GarageBand and I recorded it and put it out. And that was it.
A lot of people, I'm sure, believe that, now you're at a point where you're living the dream. But is it true that you used to actually keep some sort of dream journal back in the day?
I did. My homie Trent and I were like really into lucid dreaming.
Really?
It's like, just weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to keep a dream journal, and I did that for a long time. And I don't know why I stopped. Right. To be honest, it's crazy.
Because you started living the dream. That's why.
I guess it's far from it, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Long way to go.
Yeah, I feel like there's steps to the shit.
Definitely.
And I'm still at the bottom, and it's so much work. And like getting to this point is super hard, and not everyone could do it. But getting from here to
is that much further.
That is that much harder, man, and it takes that much more work, and like every day is a reality check, and you just have to, if you want it, you have to do it.
It's funny you say that. Does the phrase "dreams are for those who sleep, reality is for those who work" sound familiar from anywhere?
Yep, that was my homie's dad told me that when I think it was like my first friend I made when I moved to Riverside on my block, and he told me that.
like 12 or 13 around then, right?
Yeah, and I never forgot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He said, dreams are for those who sleep, reality is for those who work. What did I do today to make myself better than I was yesterday?
Yeah.
And his son actually went on to go play pro baseball, man. This is like when I was playing a lot of sports and stuff, and so, I mean, you know, he obviously knew what the fuck he was talking about.
That's crazy,
so.
yeah, hell yeah. Well, lastly, man, the hard work is definitely paying off, but as you mentioned, you still have
I got a
so
long way
much
to
further
go.
to go. But
Definitely.
at this point in your career, do you consider music your life?
Yeah, that's all I do, man.
Yeah.
I eat, sleep, and breathe it, and I'm grateful that I get to wake up every day and play shows with my friends, and
Totally.
I get to work with people I like, and there's always gonna be bullshit. Like, I love the music, I hate the business, so
Yeah.
that's my stance on it. But touring is where I feel the most comfortable. Like away, I just feel like I like being away from everything, man. Like,
Yeah.
I miss my family and my friends back home and stuff, but I get to wake up in a new place every day and just kick it with
get out
people
there
that
and
I
explore.
love,
Yeah.
and then every night I get to play a show, so
And
it's
see new fans.
Exactly, man. Like, and yeah, so all the fans, like, without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Because if no one comes to the show, there's no show to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? If no one's listening to my music, I have no one to make music for.
Exactly.
So without it, it's I do this because they want me to do it, and then I do this because I love to do it, and they love that I love to do it.
Right.
So it's like one hand
It all
washes the
works
other.
out.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Couldn't have one without the other.
It's a community, man, and it's a give and take. So they really hold me down, and they look out for me. And every day I'm surprised, man. Like, I just go to places, like cities that I've never been, and I'm just like, yo, like, you guys, you fuck with me, like, my songs, like, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So they're in, like, the whole lifestyle, they get it, and that's, a big shout out to the internet.
Yeah.
Because without that, the whole music scene before the internet trips me out.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wish I could have seen what that was like too.
Yeah, like how they, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, like how that shit went.
Right.
But I feel like now it empowers a lot more individuals
To get out there
globally. Yeah, man, it's so
try
much
it
easier to have your
themselves.
music heard, but at the same time, there's so much more music being made.
Yeah.
So, I think music's in the best spot it's ever been in right now. Though.
I actually agree with that. Despite all the, I agree with that.
Yeah, no, the business hates it, but that's cool because we're remodeling the business, and we're kind of, making it whatever the fuck we want it to be.
I feel like it gives people, gives like fans more of an opportunity to really kind of pick and choose with what they truly like instead of just what's being handed to them.
Exactly, man.
T Mills, thank you so much for your time, man. It's great chatting with you.
You too.
Best wishes with everything coming your way.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people out there watching?
Follow me on Twitter at I love T Mills, Facebook.com/I love T Mills, TMillsmusic.com. I love you guys. Come see me on tour. I'm on tour till May. Peace.
There you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and this is T Mills. Thanks for watching.